Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So we have a problem in Pasadena, many problems in Pasadena. Pasadena has this beautiful landscape of mountains and the Eaton Canyon and some of the nice eatery and restaurants in the downtown of Pasadena and nice landscape and wealthy people and people who live well above the median income. But unbeknownst to all of that glam and glitter, we have some school closings and draconian budget cuts dominate Pasadena school board meeting. So if you do this, you will have destroyed dreams, one student told the board. This is by Eddie Rivera, community editor out of Pasadena News Now. So we have the board meeting here, and students are also involved. Hundreds of angry and saddened students, staff, parents, and teachers, they packed the Pasadena Unified District Board chambers, overflowing meeting rooms and hallways. This is Dr. Brian McDonald, and this is some of the people who were there conversing about their problems. So it goes on to say, overflow meeting rooms and hallways Thursday while the award-winning Wilson Middle School Lion Drum Corps performed outside in formation in the parking lot. The PUSD board has convened a special meeting Thursday to discuss the district's financial stabilization plan and proposed budget reductions for the upcoming 3 school years. As presented to the board by interim Chief Business Officer Eva Lueck, told the board budget reductions are needed to replenish a state-required reserve fund that is suddenly shrinking as the district begins to lose state funds due to an unexpected and unprecedented drop in attendance this school year. District attendance has dropped this semester by almost 500 students, the largest drop in 5 years. The state funds, which are based on attendance, account for nearly 90% of the district's general fund. This attendance drop was not on our radar, said Lueck. This number is far more than I anticipated, agreed board member Patrick Cahanlan. Later, I was wrong on my predictions. As presented to the board, proposed reductions could involve the closing of or consolidation of 3 schools, along with the elimination of a music program, large reductions of the athletic program at Blair, and reductions to Blair IB coordinator year from 12 to 10 months. Reductions could also include a hiring freeze on nurses, a loss of library coordinators, along with a reduction in STEM teachers and dual language teaching coaches, among numerous of other moves. So there's huge budget cuts and cutting all over Pasadena Unifieds. The school consolidation would include moving Cleveland Elementary students to Washington Accelerated School, moving Franklin Elementary students to Altadena Elementary School, and moving Wilson Middle School students to Washington STEM Middle School and Blair Middle School. So school board president Lawrence Torres opened the evening meeting by telling the packed room, "This is the beginning of a dialogue. There will be no decisions and no vote tonight." More than 40 community members asked to address the board during the first of the 2 public comment sections of the meeting, which eventually ran past 11 o'clock. Football coach Eric Pineda set the tone early as he addressed the board. What recently ended its 32-game losing streak this year, he said, to a room full of applause. And then we won another one, he said, more applause. Ending our athletics program would be a serious injustice, Pineda continued. Don't reallocate our program. This is our home. Let me build something here, said Pineda, adding, if I had to, I would do this for free. Blair student athlete Adrian Padron continued the theme, saying, ending our program would have a huge impact. Our teams are supported by fundraising, and you're just shifting money. How is that fair? And so this has been an ongoing problem for PUSD. So pointing out the value and the effect of sports for himself and his teammates, he said, I never thought of myself as playing football for Blair, and now we're doing something here, and we're starting something, and what is the measure of success? Students after student told the board the same story, and their school and their programs and their education are very important. Please save Wilson, said the middle school student Luke Ferris, sadly, the drum corps, the robotics. I'm going to be so sad if you do this. And Daniela Nava, water polo coach at Blair, told the board, Blair sports means more than you could ever know. And if you do this, you will have destroyed dreams, said Wilson Middle School teacher Andrea Sandoval, looking right at the board members. Would you cut a young girl's bird's wings or young bird's wings? So basically what they're saying is by them cutting some of the beneficial programs that children need in these schools, is cutting off all of the amenities that the school has to offer and all the dreams and the hopes and the desires that the kids that they anticipate coming to when they go to these schools, being in their sports, being in their water polo, being in their bands, being in their activities adds that extra motivation to continue on, because it may turn into something more than just the extra activities that they do at school. You have drum corps and robotics. Some of those things can turn into actual careers later in life. So in making her presentation, Lewick was mindful of the cumulative effect of the budget cuts on students in their schools. She called the list of cuts draconian and added that it's a tall order and a very hurtful order. Los Angeles County Office of Education has demanded that the district make sufficient cuts to restore and maintain reserve for the economic uncertainties that are ahead at the required level, and told the district leadership in a September 14, 2018 letter that it remains concerned that the district continues to project the REU that is below the required level in 2019 to 2020 and 2020 to 21. So the district needs to maintain 3% of its total budget in the REU every year, a figure in the millions that will become increasingly and dramatically harder to maintain should attendance continue to fall, which it has been, and it's steadily falling. And no new revenue sources are located. The county letter also stated that the county office is prepared to take additional corrective action should the district not fully address its structural deficits. So, and continue project reserves that are below the state required minimum. So the district's 2018 and 19 adopted budget reflects declining enrollments and projected average daily attendance, which is ADA, and 15,700 21 in 2018 to 2019, 15,564 in 2019 to 2020, and 15,409 in 2020 and 21. So the estimated impact represents a 2.0% decrease in the district's 2018 and 19 ADA attendance. Okay, so the district will lose state funding over time if the declines in enrollments continue. Okay, the enrollments continues, that said that the county is saying this. So the district must carefully monitor its enrollment trends and adjust its financial projections according to the county office noted, including the related staffing adjustment for the current and subsequent fiscal years if further material reductions in the enrollment occur or are expected to occur. During the board discussion, the board's member Patrick Kahalan said, "I'm not comfortable voting to close any of the schools. It's too early and it's not fair." So board member Michelle Richardson Bailey went further, saying, "I don't support cutting any music and art programs or anything that directly impacts our students. So let's go back to the basics. So we need to find programs that work." Pasadena Unified Superintendent Brian McDonald told the board that the board study session needs to be scheduled as soon as possible. "So we don't have time to create committees," said McDonald, "but the board needs to take over the conversation on these school closing matters. Board members need to lead the conversation," he said, adding the time was an issue and that the board needs to be ready to vote on final reductions at its earliest November 25th meeting. Okay, and so that's pretty much the whole article, entailing why they're closing the schools and what has been going on. And you see here, pictured here, all of the people who are concerned that live in Pasadena Unified, the students that have been going there and that have been protesting about this, and some of the staff members and the board members. With that having said all of this, thanks for listening.